지금 음악 들리죠? 예, 지금 됐네요.
들립니다.
네, 됐습니다. 들어왔고.
네, 알겠습니다.
유튜브 한번 체크해 주실래요? 유튜브 이거 사운드 들어온 건데, 네,
유튜브 소리 들리시나요?
유튜브 이 송출은 소리가 나가고 있는데
네.
안 나오네요. 아, 나와요.
이제 나온다.
네, 15초 딜레이니까.
네,
또 나옵니다.
알겠습니다.
아, 저거 설정을 하고 여기서 찍고.
강규석 교수님, 안녕하세요.
예, 안녕하세요. 소리 잘 들리나요?
네, 내 소리 잘 들리고 있습니다.
예, 알겠습니다. 감사합니다. 예.
감사합니다.
됐고.
말씀 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
네네. 지금 잘 들리죠? 목소리 이 정도면 잡히겠어요? 아, 예, 예, 안녕하세요. 예, 예. 저쪽에 있습니다. 예. 아, 예, 예.
예, 발표할 수 있잖아요.
스크린도 켜줘. Ladies and gentlemen, the symposium is about to start 5 minutes. Please be prepared. We will begin shortly.
One, two, three.
Mic
test. One, two, three. One, two, three.
지금 마이크 테스트 하시는 게 아니겠지?
네, 이쪽 저희가 얘기한
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted to welcome you to the second SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium plenary session. I'm Deok-keun An, Dean of International Affairs at Seoul National University. It is my great pleasure to welcome everyone to this virtual event who are participating through Zoom and YouTube. The SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium was first prepared through a discussion among senior executives from both universities at QSFO 2019, held in Fukuoka in November. And both parties agreed on deepening the links through organizing an annual joint symposium. Last year, the first symposium was held online successfully, with participation from 3 invited satellite sessions. This year, we also have 10 promising disciplines participating in the program. Today, we are having this virtual plenary session, and until next Friday, a series of satellite sessions, staff exchange, and student exchange programs will be followed, which will strengthen diverse connection links between the 2 universities. Today's plenary session is constituted of SNU and Kyushu University President's remarks, group photo session, followed by introduction session for the participating satellite sessions, and keynote speech from both universities. First, we will start with President Oh Se-jung's welcoming remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome President Oh.
Morning, everyone. President Tatsuro Ishibashi and Senior Vice President for International Affairs, Professor Toshiyuki Kono, and distinguished guests. Allow me to convey my warmest greetings to everyone who participate in this year's Seoul National University's and Kyushu University Joint Symposium. Last year, we have successfully launched the first symposium online with 3 invited satellite sessions and a staff exchange meeting. We had successful result last year, so this time we opened the application for satellite session grant to all departments from both universities. As a result, 10 different promising disciplines are participating this year to further develop and make a new research cooperation network. Also, we have newly launched a student online video conference program to expand the global exchange opportunities for our students in this challenging time. Although this symposium is held online again, we hope that it will successfully provide a basis for future cooperation between the 2 universities. The theme of this year's symposium is digital transformation in higher education. Throughout the history, technology has been a dominant force for a transformational shift of the society. These days, digital technology is rapidly developing in diverse fields like mobile communication, robotics, AI, and Internet of Things, and the integration of these technologies is fundamentally how we create and deliver value in our society. Along with this change, there is also increasing pressure for digital transformation in higher education, with unpredictable future work and with growing options for students. As we all know, the COVID-19 pandemic is also hastening this change. From last year, SNU has taken some practical measures for education and administrative sections to deal with the digital transformation on campus, which abruptly became the present by the COVID-19. At the same time, SNU is now going through a fundamental reform to prepare for transforming itself into a next generation university. To be able to jump into a digital future, the focus would have to be on the institutional and infrastructure environment that would have to improve tangibly the adaptability of faculty and students and increase considerably the utilization of new technologies. Last year, SNU has been concentrating most of resources for the settlement of e-learning system for the education section. In addition to technical issues, we believe that it was also important to collect, analyze, and archive our know-how on new online tools and teaching and learning methods. In this regard, we launched a website called Online Teaching Lab, OTL, last year to effectively collect and provide information on a uniform platform with an aim to help reskill our members and reflect their feedback on the situation instantly. There is information on how to design effective non-face-to-face lectures how to set strategy for online learning, and how to utilize the university resources in this new environment was collectively provided to our members, supporting them to adapt smoothly to the new change. Through this platform, we could observe how digital transformation is affecting and changing the form of higher education activities. Using these data collected in the OTL, we are now planning to make our own next generation learning management solutions and continuously upgrade teaching and learning models. Expecting a shift in global education system to foster creative and convergent talents, SNU has been putting a lot of effort in establishing AI and database information service, which will support students to self-direct their studies and lower barriers between different disciplines. For example, the intelligent subject search service is going to be established this year to guide students what to study and recommend courses or professors, comparing existing data on course lists and current researches with what students wish to study. We hope to continuously develop this program using AI so that it provides a customized guide for students, especially in students-directed education programs, and enable them to explore various perspectives and options. Vice versa, with analysis of collective students' data, we also aim to provide helpful information of students' guidance for professors, which will then become an integrated management system for student competency. In addition to these practical measures, SNU has been seeking constitutional remedies to prepare for mid to long-term plans for transforming into next generation university. Although SNU was incorporated in 2011, its financial independence is still low, depending almost half of its budget from the government. Under this condition, it's not easy to deal with rapidly changing environment, as the university has to adjust most of its activities under the Ministry of Education guidance. I believe that it's crucial for university right now to move off the status quo and continue to change to gain more global competence. Therefore, to improve this governance structure, SNU Holdings was established this week. It was established to oversee the university's own profit-making business and increase SNU's financial independence, supporting school budget with its own business profits. We are all discussing the directions of this business, but we have plans to appoint outside experts as board members in its guidance. I believe that it will be a significant step towards our transition to the next generation university. Many experts say that disruption is on the way in higher education, that its golden age has ended with the emergence of digital culture. With the constantly changing demographics, development of game-changing technologies and digital culture, we have to admit that we cannot hold ourselves back in old paradigms. However, I believe that universities still have their own crucial roles and potentials that cannot be substituted. During the pandemic, universities already have shown that they are one of the most influential institutions that serve the public in various ways, especially through global network and knowledge sharing, like developing vaccines, completing the genetic map of COVID-19, and analyzing the COVID-19 derived social and cultural effects. Universities are providing all-around resources to overcome the crisis. Like this, with our collective intelligence and effort to adapt to the next normal, I believe that universities in any forms will continue to evolve and pursue the original mission of education, research, and social contribution. I hope that this joint symposium between two universities will also be one all attending participants an opportunity to open up new horizons for new possibilities that contribute to our society. Again, welcome, and I wish all of you a successful and fruitful meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, President O. Now, please welcome President Tatsuro Ishibashi for his congratulatory remarks.
The second joint symposium with Seoul National University, which is one of the most prestigious universities in Asia and one of the most important partners for us today. And it is my great pleasure to offer new words at the opening of this event. Firstly, I would like to introduce an overview of Kyushu University. Our 4 campuses are located in Fukuoka and the south part of Japan, and one of the 5 largest cities in Japan with a population of 1.6 million. Because of its location, Fukuoka had been a gateway city for diplomacy and trading with Asian countries from ancient times. Founded in 1911, we are one of Japan's leading research-oriented national universities. In 2018, we completed the relocation of the university's facilities to its main campus, Ito campus, the largest single campus in Japan with a total of 275 hectares in the area. Kyushu University is home to approximately 19,000 students, and it's comprised of 12 undergraduate schools, 18 graduate schools, and 5 research institutions. Currently, over 2,300 international students from 97 countries and regions are studying at Kyushu University. The number is on the rise. We are strengthening our education and research collaboration with over 140 partner universities worldwide and plan to expand more in the future. We received the world-class reputation for research excellence in the field of hydrogen, fuel cell, nanoscience, biotechnology, and more. We have great strength in the field of energy and closely worked with industry to promote international joint research. Especially the International Institute for Carbon Neutral Energy Research, SNU for short, have conducted cutting-edge research on energy issues both in Japan and the world. We are committed to making a leading contribution to achieving a carbon neutral energy society. We also conduct multiple research projects in hydrogen and carbon capture. As we mentioned earlier, Kyushu University is located in Fukuoka City, south part of Japan, and Fukuoka is considered a gateway city for diplomacy and trading with Asian countries from ancient times. We engaged in a long history of collaboration with Asian universities and decided to hold our first virtual Asia Week in 2020, including the first SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium. Approximately 2,600 people participated remotely. Again, this year in October, we are planning to hold the Asia Week 2021. Seoul National University and Kyushu University have a long history of collaboration, and we have built a very successful partnership over the years. I am confident we'll further strengthen this partnership and promote multi-phased cooperation and interaction in many fields in the year to come. I hope today's symposium will further expand the waves of exchange between Seoul National University and Kyushu University. I'm deeply grateful for being able to share this moment with all of you today. And I'm looking forward to having everyone at Seoul University visit Kyushu University next year. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Shibashi. Before we move on, we will have a short group photo session to commemorate this event. All participants, please turn on your video. 잠깐 이쪽에. One, two, three. One more time. One, two, three. Thank you very much. Now we will have introduction time for each satellite session participating in this year. And one representative from each session will say hello and explain to us briefly about their sessions. First session is Changing Climate and Environment in East Asia. Professor Hanna Na, please introduce us about the session.
Okay, thank you for having me today. Our session on changing climate and environment in East Asia is organized by Professor Naoki Hirose of Kyushu and myself of SNU. Professor Hirose is affiliated with the Center for Oceanic and Atmospheric Research of the Research Institute for Applied Mechanics. And I'm at the School of Earth and Environmental Science of the College of Natural Science. We study oceanic and atmospheric environment, which we share. We often say that there's no boundary for the seawater in the ocean. So naturally, there has been a continued need for international collaboration in earth and environmental science. So this joint symposium would be an excellent opportunity for us to promote stronger collaboration on research and also personal exchange among the participants to further boost future joint activities. We are having an afternoon session today and a morning session tomorrow. There will be 14 talks by faculty members, graduate students, and postdocs from the two universities. Through the presentations and discussions among more than 50 people who have registered, we will share our current understanding of the changing climate and environment in East Asia, including the topics such as ocean warming, predictability of fishery, climate regime shift. We appreciate all the support from the two universities hosting this meaningful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Na. Next session is Integrated Dentistry in the Future. And Professor Shin-Hae Chung will tell us about the session. Professor Chung.
Hello, good morning, and I'd like to share my slide first. Okay, My name is Shin-Hye Chung, a Director of International Affairs at Seoul National University School of Dentistry. It is my honor to introduce our satellite session. Session 2, Integrate Dentistry in the Future, is organized by Professor Young-Suk Park, an Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and Professor Ichiro Jimi, Vice Dean for International Affairs in Kyushu. In this session, we'll be discussing how the future will be at a time when interdisciplinary and integrated approaches are emphasized. Keigo Yoshizaki and Jo Wee from Kyushu and Shin-Young Park and Hunju Yang from SNU are going to present their topics. Our session is going to take place on next Monday, June 21st, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Please enjoy this session and welcome everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Chung. Next session is Material Science for Energy Application. Professor Keiichi Tanaka will explain the session. Professor Tanaka, please.
All right, thank you very much. Let me share my slide. Right. I'm Keiichi Tanaka from Kyushu University and co-organizer of the Symposium number 3 with Professor Young-Ju Liu. And our symposium will be held on 23rd, right here, from the morning to 5 o'clock p.m. And our symposium aims at the participants better understand materials for energy applications and then stimulate collaborations between SNU and Kyushu University. And hopefully we are able to get some information from each side in terms of digital transformation, which can be used in the field of material science. And let me show you a timetable of our symposium. And this is a morning session. And although we will try to introduce all of them in detail, but the schedule doesn't allow us to do so. So we have 5 speakers from each side who are rising stars as well as outstanding professors. And Professor Lee and I believe that our symposium will have a great success in terms of exchanging the latest result in both sides and making future collaborations. So please stop by our symposium. Thank you very much and 감사합니다.
Thank you, Professor Tanaka. Next session is Next Generation Anti-Cancer Strategy Targeting Tumor Microenvironment. And Professor Jiwan An will tell us about the session. Professor An? Professor Jiwan An, are you there? Yeah.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep. So can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So hello, my name is Jiwan An, and I'm delighted to present our session on the behalf of Professor Young-Jun Sar. So tumor is composed of heterogeneous populations of cells, including not only cancer cells, but also immune cells, fibroblasts, endothelial cells, and adipocytes, creating a unique environment to survive together. The importance of tumor microenvironment may be highlighted by the fact that previous Nobel Prizes in physiology or medicine were awarded to the discovery of cellular adaptation to hypoxia in 2019 and molecules involved in reactivation of T cells in 2018. Although tumor microenvironment is currently contributing to resistance to all 4 major anti-cancer therapies, it can also turn out to be a unique target for the next generation of anti-cancer therapy. So with this, we would like to introduce our satellite session on June 19th, Saturday. Professors Young-Jun Sar, Yong-Sang Song, and myself from SNU, and Professor Koshi Mimori, Takaaki Masuda, and Keisuke Kusai from Kyushu University will present the most updated progress on tumor microenvironment research in the context of developing next-generation anti-cancer therapy. Looking forward to see you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor An. Next session is Nuclear Thermal Hydraulics and Safety. Professor Hyung-Kyu Cho will explain about the session.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. I'm Hyung-Kyu Cho in the Department of Nuclear Engineering at Seoul National University, and it is my great pleasure to join this joint symposium. Nuclear summer hydraulics is the discipline to address the performance of a nuclear power plant under normal and abnormal situation. And thus it is a very important discipline for design and safety of a nuclear reactor. As it plays an important role for nuclear safety, international cooperation is crucial to ensure the safety of nuclear reactors and to make nuclear power sustainable. For this reason, the professors at Seoul National University and Kyushu University started the annual joint workshop, and every 2 years we visited our counterpart for this event. But however, due to COVID-19, we were not able to continue this event and missed one last year. So this year we decided to switch this to online event under the SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium. This year we have 5 participating professors, and the meeting will be held on June 24th, and the 5 professors will introduce their laboratory works, and 10 students, 6 from SNU and 4 from Kyushu University, will give presentations. And the number of expected participants are about 45. And this slide shows the topics of the interest. Okay, this is what I have. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Cho. Next session is role and function of university forest, past, present, and future. Professor Kyusuk Kang will explain about the session.
Okay, hello. Yep. I think you can see my slide. Good morning, everyone, and Ohayo gozaimasu. I am Kyusuk Kang, Professor of Forest Genetics at the Department of Agriculture, Forestry, and Bioresources. And our satellite session is the role and function of university, past, present, and future. And this will be held next week, June 22nd at 13 to 17:35. And already we shared the Zoom link among the all presenters. And then co-organizer is Dr. Hiroki Nakashima. He's Vice Director of the Institute of Korean Studies in Kyushu University. Actually, Nakashima can speak Korean very fluently, so we have communicate very easily. And actually, we had some exchange already, some student and exchange of some research. And then this is the time schedule. And actually, a long time ago, we had a good collaboration at the faculty level between Seoul National University and Kyushu University. And for example, former emeritus professor Hyun Shin-gyu, and he had PhD thesis at the Kyushu University in 1946, and then also former dean of College of Agriculture, Professor Cho Baek-hyun. Also, he had studied in Kyushu University. So, and both professors are very well-known scientists over the world. And as also in our satellite sessions, first we introduced our university forests each other from Seoul National University and also Kyushu University. And as you know, the university forest has an important role in forest science and also forestry. It's aiming at the education and research, not only for university students, but also for community people, which is the core of forest science and local communication, and also rural development. And recently also we had some collaboration again. And through this satellite session, we would like to exchange more valuable information and set up some more international joint project. And then also in the end of our session, and we will discuss how to cooperate with the exchange of information and student and collaboration on research and educational programs in the near future. So I hope to have very fruitful and productive discussion in the session. Thank you very much. ご愛答ありがとうございます。
Thank you, Professor Kang. Next session is Environmental and Regional Sustainability. Professor Eui-jun Kim will tell us about the session.
Good morning. My name is Eui-jun Kim, Department of Agriculture, Economics, and Rural Development of SNU. It is my pleasure to give you a brief overview of our session. The subject of our session is environmental and regional sustainability. Actually, this session is organized by the Program in Regional Information Studies of SNU and Professor Kagawa, Faculty of Economics at Kyushu University. In fact, the meeting has been originated from the research meeting on the impact on analysis PM 2.5 in Northeast Asian countries at Kyushu University in 2015. Last year, we had also the joint session regarding to the environmental and social sustainability at different spatial scales, focused on the Sustainable Development Goals of UN. This year, we are going to have 7 papers regarding to the environmental economics and regional economics. In fact, 4 papers focus on the exam how air pollution affects supply chain, energy efficiency, chemical management, and ecological footprint. Main speakers are 8 from 5 professors from Kyushu University and 3 professors from the SNU. Our meeting is scheduled to be in the morning from 9 a.m. to noon on coming Wednesday, 23rd in next week. Thank you for your help and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kim. Next session is Tackling Legal Issues in the Age of Global Health Crisis. Professor Keun-Gwan Lee will tell us about the session.
Hello, good morning. I'm very glad to see you. And my name is Keun-Gwan Lee, and I'm teaching public international law at Seoul National University. I'm not very good at using this technology, but for some reason, could you wait for a while I try to share the slide? Sorry. I think I have to just, for some reason, I tested, but okay. I think I'll just, I can't have the benefit of the slide share. So sorry about the technical glitch. Well, first of all, I feel very privileged and honored to participate in this important program, and I'd like to express my sincere thanks to both presidents of our institutions, President Oh and President Ishibashi, for taking this important initiative. And well, it appears that in this year's joint symposium, there will be 10 satellite sessions, and it appears that our session 8, is the only one from the area of humanities and social sciences. So it gives me pleasure that our session enhances the diversity of the program of this year's joint symposium. Well, the title of our session is Tackling Various Legal Issues Arising from the Global Health Crisis. So the importance, the relevance, and the importance of this session speaks for itself. So the COVID-19 crisis is posing serious challenges in all the fields of law, civil law, criminal law, and international law, you name it. But in this session, we'll focus on 3 areas. So the first session will be devoted to the question of labor law, So there will be two presenters from our institutions. And then the second session will be devoted to the issue of COVID-19 crisis and artificial intelligence. So there will be, again, two presenters, one each from SNU and Kyushu University. And after a short break, we'll have the third session, in which there will be four presentations. So two international law professors from SNU and one international professor from Kyudai and one scholar of international relations will address this issue from the perspective of international law and international relations. And so once again, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to the organizers of this important academic event. And I'm sure that, and I hope and I'm sure that this event will lay the firm groundwork for future close collaboration, academic collaboration between two our institutions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Professor Lee. Next session is update of gastric cancer research and treatment. Professor Han-Kwon Yang will tell us about the session.
Thank you very much. I noticed among the participants today, Professor Shimizu, Kyushu University has devoted for the increase international virtual education. And today, with Professor Oki, I have prepared a video. Thank you very much. Session 9, updates of gastric cancer research. Why gastric cancer? In the world, the gastric cancer instance, #1 is Korea, #3 is Japan. Both countries, gastric cancer is an important cancer. I would like to invite Professor Oki.
I'm Eiji Oki from Kyushu University. I just really want to say thank you, all of you. First of all, I want to introduce a report which made over 100 years ago. At this time, our first professor, Okamura, had most experiences of gastric cancer surgery in Japan. Later that, Professor Kitano, his native place is also our department, made first laparoscopic surgery in 1993, and Professor Sugimachi started da Vinci surgery in 2001. Recently, the surgical case of gastric cancer is decreasing in Japan. However, gastric cancer is high rank of cause of death in the world. I think Korea is now leading country of research field of gastric cancer. The collaboration Japan and Korea is very important. We really want to learn from you. Let's discuss a lot together.
Professor J.P. Kim and Professor Sugimachi were very close friends. At the Seoul National, we have a faculty for gastric cancer surgery. We have research experiences in basic as well as genomic and surgical innovation. We have conducted the clinical trials such as regatta with the Japanese doctors and the Korean doctors. Professor Kitano and I have started a joint seminar for laparoscopic gastric surgery between Japan and Korea, and 2013 we included China. H-index by keyword gastric cancer in the top 20 in the world. #5 is Professor Bang, medical oncologist at the Seoul National. #6, Professor Kim at the Seoul National Pathology. #12, surgeon myself, and 19 is SNU gastroenterologist. This is great. And Masaki Mori, who just retired from Kyushu, #3. Next week, we will discuss on gastric cancer together with the Kyushu and the Seoul National faculty. Keyword would be laparoscopic surgery, new technology, robotic surgery, quality of life, image-guided surgery, translational research. We welcome Kyushu University for collaboration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Yang. Next session is workshop in number theory. Professor Do-hyung Kim will explain the session.
Thank you very much for the introduction. So it is my great pleasure to introduce our satellite session in number theory of the joint symposium between Seoul National University and Kyushu University. With Professor Kenichi Namigawa, I'm organizing a two-day workshop. We have shared interests in disseminating recent developments and promoting mutual understanding and fostering further collaborations. So number theory, the theme of our workshop, is one of the oldest subjects in the field of mathematics. It features a large number of interacting subfields with interfaces to other disciplines in mathematics, science, and engineering. Our list of speakers confirms this diversity, and they're invited to give 10 one-hour lectures on their research. So two institutions had established common intellectual goals surrounding quadratic forms and arithmetic topology. But we are delighted to discover that we actually cover a wide range of topics that go far beyond them. So I suspect that there are many missed opportunities. So I look forward to seeing more connections discovered and exploited for future developments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Do-hyung Kim. Actually, thank you very much for all presenters. We are extremely glad that many interesting and important topics will be covered by SNU and Kyushu professor this year. We hope that all participants have a fruitful meeting. We would like to thank you all again for making this event possible. I strongly believe that it's going to be very, very useful stepping stone to deepen our academic cooperation. Now, we will begin the keynote session of this year's symposium. The theme of this year's symposium is digital transformation in higher education. As digital transformation is the topic of the year from many different fields, we thought that it will be a good opportunity to discuss about it at this event. We will have a Q&A session after keynote speech, so please leave your questions through chat function on Zoom or YouTube. First speech will be given by Professor Hong-gi Kim from Seoul National University. He's currently the Chief Information Officer of SNU, and he's a professor of medical informatics at SNU School of Dentistry. He's also director of Biomedical Knowledge Engineering Laboratory. Please welcome Professor Kim.
Hello. It is a great honor for me to present at this SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium. My name is Hong-gi Kim, the CIO of Seoul National University, and the title of my talk today is what do we prepare for the University 4.0 paradigm following our President's opening remarks. Okay, so now we have slides. Okay. With COVID-19 spreading around the world, many countries have used and developed various medium digital solutions and information infrastructure for distance education. The dramatic change caused by the pandemic speeded up adopting new technologies in higher education and revolutionizing university systems. The University 4.0 paradigm, which is inspired by Industry 4.0, comes up with more effective responses to the demand for improvement, optimization, and personalization of large-scale data-centric and technology-supported education. In this talk, I will explore how University 4.0 changes the structure and processes of university systems from several different aspects. Then I will briefly introduce some plans and actions of the Korean Ministry of Education for the digital transformation in higher education. Next slide, please. Okay. So the first university paradigm was characterized by a mode of teaching that was informal, church-controlled, and accessible to a privileged view in religious institutions. In the slide story. Okay. Then previous one, please. Okay. So now we're okay. So the second university paradigm, the previous one, please. Previous one. Okay. So now we're and the second university paradigm emerged in response to society's need to democratize education and to train as many people as possible, giving rise to mass education with advanced and formal teaching methods. In the University 3.0 paradigm, information and communication technologies are now being increasingly integrated into education. New models of open and online education has completely overturned the way we learn and teach by making education accessible to the general public without constraints of time and place. The University 4.0 paradigm could be defined on the basis of two emerging trends. One, based on general innovations and changes in education and pedagogy, and the other on the integration of technologies introduced by Industry 4.0 into education. Next slide. So the University 4.0 is a vision of the future of university systems that exploits the potential of digital technologies, personalized data, and the opportunities offered by this connected world to foster lifelong learning. University 4.0 changes the structure and processes of university systems from several different aspects. Firstly, we can conceptualize university as a platform and education as a service. Learning common platforms and books will be more popularly used for higher education. Secondly, University 4.0 means the shift towards more student-centric universities. Students equipped with far more information than previous generations are more discerning than ever about what they expect from universities. It is an education revolution that allows learners to be architects of their learning, characterized by the personalization of learning with flexible, dynamic, and adaptive learning pathways. Thirdly, University 4.0 launches educational organizations into a dynamic of adopting new technological and pedagogical transformations to better respond to the specific needs of each learner. University 4.0 is about integrating the technological advances of Industry 4.0, such as 3D printing, augmented reality, virtual reality, cloud computing, hologram, biometric, multi-touch LCD, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, QR code for educational purposes. The next one, fourthly, the University 4.0 paradigm constitutes a set of technological innovations and pedagogical transformation in education that promotes a combination of man and technology in the service of improving and adapting learning to better meet the expectations of Industry 4.0. Finally, University 4.0 facilitates globalized open innovation for collaborative research. Open data platforms across many fields and also AI tools are changing the landscape of scientific research, where there is no boundary between universities and also between academia and industry. Okay, there are several major trends of University 4.0. First, diverse time and place. Students will have more opportunities to learn at different times in different places. E-learning tools facilitate opportunities for a remote, self-paced learning. Classrooms will be flipped, which means the theoretical part is learned outside the classroom, whereas the practical part shall be taught face-to-face interactively. The second one is personalized learning. Students will learn with study tools that adapt to capabilities of a student. Students will be positively reinforced during their individual learning processes. They can result into positive learning experiences and will diminish the amount of students losing confidence about their academic abilities. And the next one is the free choice. Students will learn with the different devices, different programs and techniques based on their own preference. As careers are adapting to the future freelance economy, students of today will adapt to project-based learning and working. This means they have to learn how to apply their skills in shorter terms to a variety of situations. Schools will provide more opportunities for students to obtain real-world skills that are representative to their jobs. This means the curricula will create more room for students to fulfill internships, mentoring projects, and collaboration projects. The next one is data interpretation. So computers will soon take care of every statistical analysis and describe and analyze data, predict future trends. Therefore, the human interpretation of these data will become a much more important part of the future curriculum. As courseware platforms will assess students' capabilities at each step, measuring their competencies through exams might become irrelevant or might not be sufficient. As the factual knowledge of a student can be measured during their learning process, the application of their knowledge is best tested when they work on projects in the field. And the next one is student ownership. Students will become more and more involved in forming their curricula. Critical input from students on the content and durability of their courses is a must for an all-embracing study program. The final one is mentoring. So in 20 years, students will incorporate so much independence into their learning process that mentoring will become fundamental to student success. So teachers will form a central point in the jungle of information that our students will be paving their way through. So we live in an era of alignment between man and machine. People will start communicating with the machines instead of just operating them, creating a beautiful hybrid of the Internet of People, so-called IoT, and the Internet of Things, so-called IoT. Our current method of learning will no longer be effective. Learning has to be deconstructed and reconstructed in order to be the most flexible it has ever been. We need to shift to more interactive, immersive, and collaborative components that can adapt to our personal learning needs. This is where man and machine become symbiotic. The two trends to make a learning platform for University 4.0 are personalized learning and the diversity of learning. So imagine an intuitive learning platform that adapts to your learning path as you grow. A platform that communicates with you, pushing relevant learning content to you each day based on your current situation. This is where the IoT and IoT communicate and combine data through artificial intelligence. to personally deliver relevant learning solutions to you. Career learning path could be specifically tailored based on your aptitudes, interests, and location, and identify future skills that does not even exist yet for jobs that don't even exist yet. All of this content will be available to you at any time on any connected device. The power of your personal data will help formulate your learning path instead of the rigid prescribed approach. So we need to shift to more interactive, immersive, and collaborative components that can adapt to our personal learning needs. The second trend is the shift from the theoretical content out of the classroom, with a focus on more practical training, either face-to-face or through interactive solutions. There are already multiple methods in which to prepare the workforce for a workplace that will continuously be disrupted by new technology, by imitating real-world processes. Virtual learning environments are not new, but with the advancement, new media such as virtual reality and augmented reality, and now the combination of the two mixed realities, practical training will become a far more viable and cost-effective option. The next one. So now I will briefly introduce some plans and actions by the Korean Ministry of Education for the digital transformation in higher education. The Korean University Resource United System, so-called KORUS, is an integrated administration and finance system for national universities to link, integrate, and manage a complex accounting system of national universities. KORUS has narrowed the ICT gap between universities and has reduced the waste of resources and manpower, which previously occurred due to an individual system separately adopted by universities and contributed to the standardization and efficiency of educational administration. KORUS was reorganized as a rapid communication system for standardization, where the 6 areas of the university support group were reorganized into 2 areas, administration and ICT support. The next slide. The Korean Ministry of Education has supported the expansion of IT infrastructure to improve the quality of university education services. Education networks play a pivotal role in ICT in universities, as it can lead to the creation of an internet-based information communication system for all tasks and activities, such as education, research, and administration. The Korean Education Network Council, where I'm the chair of it, has 392 member institutions. We make efforts to lay the foundation for the autonomous innovation of universities through consultation and coordination between institutes related to ICT in education at universities. The next one. The system of cyber universities has been improved to increase the quality of education of customized higher education institutes. In 2020, in response to social demands, an increase in the number of new students entering cyber universities by 550 was approved, and 1 special graduate school was built after approval. In addition, mid and long-term policies were devised. In November 2009, Korea announced its agenda for establishment of the ASEAN Korea Cyber University, and 10 ASEAN countries unanimously expressed their intention to participate in the project. As a result, the e-learning support project was launched. The project aims to increase the competencies among CLMV nations, including Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam, in e-learning, and to expand changes of online higher education between Korea and ASEAN member nations, and then to re-examine the project after 2020. And the next, last 2 slides about some of the actions we are making from Seoul National University perspective. And since we don't have enough time, I will skip the last 2 slides. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Kim, for the excellent presentation. Next speech will be given by Professor Koji Okamura. He is a Senior Vice President of Kyushu University and current Chief Information Security Officer. He's also the Director of the Cybersecurity Center and the Professor of the Research Institute for Information Technology. Please welcome Professor Okamura. Can you turn on your speaker?
Sorry. Can I hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Sorry. Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for my introduction. And it's my great honor to have speak here. And it's my pleasure to talk with my many friends here. So today I say some introduction, and I explain about my equipment, and I explain about case study related with COVID-19, and I'll say something the last. So this is a very short introduction related to my experience with Korea. 20 years ago, I think most people cannot believe Japan and Korea is connected just 8 Mbps by academic internet. But old people remember 2002, there was a football international game sponsored by Japan and Korea. At that time, optical fiber between Busan and Fukuoka City is installed. Then after a football game, academic people tried to use this optical fiber to academic purpose. And this C, Japanese name is Genkai C, and Korean name is Hyone. Then we call Hyone Genkai project. And we need some reason why we need very fast internet. At that time, I met Professor Shimizu here, and you can see a very young Professor Shimizu. And we tried to success to upgrading fast connection Korea and Japan to 1G. Then after that, I got some grant from JSPS and COSEF. And COSEF changed to NRF after several years later. And we had many human exchange during 6 years. And we visit almost every Korean city. Of course, I visited SNU several times. And my friend Korea come to Fukuoka and whole Japan. And we had so many meetings about future internet. So I had a very good relationship with Korea. Okay, I moved to technical part. So I'm very sorry. Most participants cannot familiar with this kind of technology. So I try to explain to easily as I possible. So you can see left figure is very classical type to get the data from networking. So router's performance is not so good, and network is very complex. Then we cannot get very sample data. Only sample data is available. But recently, we developed very advanced network capture system. and we located good switch here, and all data is mirrored from router, and router collect every network data, and to avoid bottleneck, we located several sensors connected at the switches. It means I can get whole campus data in store, and I checked security issues as a CISO. And the second thing is usually data is located just IP address, and after stored, we find this IP address has a relationship to which country or which organization. But our system has a good function to put those information when it save the device. For example, important thing is where this IP address is for example, there is a organization number in internet. For example, 2505 is Kyushu University and 9488 is SNU. And from this number, we can find this is Kyushu University's packet, and this is a packet from SNU. And also, there are another information to find geological information, like this packet comes from Seoul, or this packet comes from Korea, like this. And this is server which can do a big data processing using Elasticsearch. So finally, for example, this map can generate this machine, and it snapshot which area comes from to Kyushu University, like this. We developed this kind of system for security purpose. So this slide, I'm sorry, this is for Japanese because I borrowed this slide from my student. So it means there are very big security attack, but the period is very short. But using this system, we can detect this attack successfully. But recently, my interest is because this machine can store every information in Kyushu University campus. And this is one of very beautiful graph. And this shows how many MAC addresses, it means how many devices in Kyushu University campus on education network. And you can see this is graph starts from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can see the first peak, and it's mean first class started. And the second peak, this is second class started. And the middle, you can see very sudden drop. This is lunchtime. Most students don't use devices. And afternoon, some peak, it corresponds to class starting time. And evening, number of devices decreasing because students back to home. So then I show some case studies related COVID-19 from now. And data is from 10th May, and it's before lockdown in Fukuoka city, and until last Sunday. And the date is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the resolution is 30 minutes. And the target is there is one LMS server in Kyushu University, and every student access to this LMS every day because every class is online and online content is located in this e-learning system. So this is most access machine. So I focus on this server. And I classified some area. The one is a Wi-Fi network which use mainly students. and wired network is used by faculty. And now most students is not located in campus. So I classified student inside Fukuoka and student inside Japan but out of Fukuoka and student in a foreign country. As I said, IP packet can classify by location. Then I do this kind of classification. So this is first graph. As I said, from 12 May, lockdown in Fukuoka is started, and from this day, online class is started. So you can see very sudden drop. This is data or Wi-Fi data. Then until 10 and 11 students come to campus, then many packets are there. But from this day, number of packets is decreasing suddenly. This is very easy. This is, I'm not sure. Sometimes I had chance to talk to students, and I ask students, where are you now? Then some students answer, Professor, I return to my hometown, for example, or another prefecture or another city. Then I'm interested how the situation where students now. And after online class started, students left from Fukuoka city. So this blue line is data from Fukuoka city, number of Fukuoka city, and orange is not Fukuoka but in Japan. You can see number of orange is increasing slowly. So this is a percentage, especially week 5, last week, number of ratio is increasing. Then I guess most students try to return to their hometown from apartment in Fukuoka. So this is another graph. So you can find weekend. Where is the weekend? It's easy. So this vertical blue is Saturday and the red line is Sunday. So this is data for wired network, which is used mostly faculties. So usually weekend faculty does not access to e-learning system. Then this graph is a typical result. Then this is access from student. So you can find weekend. I think it's not easy, but not difficult. Here. Also, there are many drops at the weekend. But I found number of packets are different, Saturday and Sunday. You can see number of Saturday is smaller than Sunday. Then I have interest why the reason. So this is a day graph. So this is from morning to after evening. So Saturday until noon, students study, but on Saturday they maybe stopped study. But on Sunday they keep study because next day is Monday, and I believe most Kyushu University students try to prepare the next day lecture before the Monday. So this is another fact. Week 4, this is flat part is Friday, not weekend, weekday. But the number of packets is very small. Then I found Kyushu University's end 4th June for spring quarter. And the next week, another summer quarter is started. And only this day, there are no class because a boundary of quarter. So this is a daily graph access. So usually student access the e-learning system even weekend, but this day students don't access, don't study, and the next day is Saturday, and they don't necessarily to prepare. Then I guess they have good rest. And this data is one of big significant discovery during this case study. So almost this is final. You can imagine what is this? I think this is very difficult. So this is data from foreign countries. And there are many countries' information is mixture. Then even I input weekend information, it is difficult. What is this? And more information is necessary. For example, I classified countries or I classified area. Maybe there are many time difference and I need such kind of information. So for your information, this is data from Korea, because still there are many Korean Kyushu University students remain in Korea, and they access from to Korea because they need join online class. So this is last slide me. So using big data from network. Originally, it aimed to security issues, but I can get some human behavior guessed or shown. Of course, if I progress this kind of research, I need to consider about privacy issues. And target classification and combination of key events are very important. Without those information, even there are many data, we cannot find in it. And various information is very important. And there is a word of security, SIM, security information and event management. This is very important to analyze security things. Then we start kind of DX project. Then we can expect various this kind of key information and combine and find many things. And this kind of data-driven analysis, something new fact like a student have a good rest or a student may left from city can be found. Then we expect a new research area will be discovered. And next week, I expect COVID-19 limitation will be changed, and students come to campus again. Then network traffic might be changed, and expect I can find another thing. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Okamura, for the great presentation. We have some time left for Q&A or comments. I myself have a question for Professor Kim Hong-gi. It was very interesting to hear about the University 4.0 paradigm. Could you a little bit more elaborate on what is the implication of this University 4.0 paradigm in the context of SNU KYUSHU University academic relationship?
Important and very difficult question at this moment. Actually, I have two things in my mind to enhance the collaborative relationship between the two universities. One is actually educational aspect. Each university, each campus has its own LMS system, separately. And also, for example, SNU is planning to build another version of the next version of LMS system this year. So I think we try to include as many open course materials as possible into our LMS system. And I mean, in the same way, I think Kyushu University also have that kind of LMS system with more amount of, can say, online materials in the future. So I think one possibility is that actually we can build up LMS system to be shared between two universities, so that each, the students from each campus can freely visit the other campus through LMS system via their own LMS. And this is one thing. So there might be several difficulties, like for example, authentication problem and many other difficulties. But I think we can overcome some of the difficulties that we can think about. The next one is the research platform.
예, 너무 좋고요, 저는. 예, 근데.
Okay, so let me go. So another aspect is that actually, since there are 10 different areas that are presented during this joint symposium sessions, and I think we can build up some kind of open research data platform where two parties work together to make some kind of standard form of some kind of metadata standardization for each area to be put on that platform, so that in the future the university professors can work together with the data, very qualified data. So I think the two things in my mind.
Thank you very much. Our Associate Dean of International Affairs, Bernard Ego, has one question for Professor Okamura.
Yes, thank you, Professor Okamura, for the interesting talk. I'm from computer science and an engineer, so I was interested to see those different traffic graphs that you showed. And in that respect, we do data center research, and in that context, trying to maximize the resource utilization of data center resources. And when looking at this graph, we see a lot of variability from the peak traffic to the lowest traffic, usually on the weekends. And this raises the question, as a university, should we maybe move to the cloud, to content delivery networks, to kind of not have to invest for peak traffic and pay lots of money, or should we keep those network capabilities in the university and basically increase the bandwidth? Do we have any plans of either moving to the cloud, or do you think this should rather stay inside the university?
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, physically cloud, but we put Kyushu University's IP address in cloud system. Then we can, LLM seems to be in campus, but physically it located cloud. And as you said, it's very important thing. And email system or another Office Microsoft system also moved to cloud. And that time we don't put Kyushu IP address of Kyushu University, then I cannot see the access pattern. Then my answer is most resources move to cloud actually, but point is IP address, which organization IP address is assigned that server. That's maybe one point. So,
okay. Thank you very much.
Satisfied?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other question or comments from the follower?
May I take a floor?
Yes.
This is my name is Toshiki Kono, Executive Vice President of Kyushu University. since I take the floor for the first time, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the colleagues of Seoul National University. Thank you very much for organizing this. And I'd like to thank Professor Kim for a very inspiring intervention, and Dean An's very, appropriate question. And to that point, I would like to also say just a few words. Kyushu University would like to strengthen activity called COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning. So this is the learning where two institutions work on the joint curriculum and closely. And so today would be the wonderful opportunity to start this collaboration between two institutions. And my colleague, Professor Konomi, Natalie, just sitting next to me, will take the lead of this initiative. So thanking for all your great presentation and initiative, we'd like to start this collaboration very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or question from the floor? Okay, unless we have any, then I think I should wrap up. Again, huge thanks for Professor Okamura and Professor Kim. It was an excellent chance to learn about the current digital transformation and the initiative of both universities. Now, let me conclude the plenary session for 2021 SNU KYUSHU Joint Symposium. May I remind you that there will be a very interesting satellite session following up from this afternoon until 25th of June. Please refer to the website link on chat to check each session's time and Zoom connection information. Thank you very much for everyone for your participation.